Hey guys, Secret Wars Battleworld #1 just dropped. This is kind of a variety book. They have two different stories in this book, and they're both a lot of fun. Really good art. I'm surprised how good the art was, because this is kind of a side book, a little bit of a comedic edge to it, and usually those kind of factors, they don't really put much emphasis on the art. But the art's good here. It's really good. It's really fun. It's worth your time, your money. The first story, they have a Stephen Strange who's possessing Frank Castle. So they have Doctor Strange possessing the Punisher, or kind of riding along, maybe kind of a sidecar thing is a better way to turn it. But he's been crossing the borders between different worlds, different kingdoms. He is being pursued by the Infernal Four, and the Infernal Four are made up of Hulk, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, and Spider-Man, and they're from the Kingdom of Limbo, and so they're kind of this bounty hunter group, and they're trying to bring him back in, and of course this is a death sentence. So what does he do? He creates astral Uzis and he kills the Spider-Man. Then he just calms down Hulk, kills Bruce Banner, then he ices Ghost Rider, then he shatters him, and then he kills himself. And what we're revealed is that the Stephen Strange spirit, the Doctor Strange spirit, has hitched a ride onto Wolverine now. So now Wolverine is, he has an immortal body, and this is so cool. It's so cool to see the Punisher using Stephen Strange's powers to create the rocket of Ranagor, or the weapon of Watum. He makes astral rocket launchers and Uzis and grenades. This was a very oddly powerful version of Doctor Strange, which makes me think they might be amping him in preparation for the movie, or they might be depowering the Hulks a little bit, as he was able to just wipe out both the Hulk and Ghost Rider. And that is something that I don't think previous versions of Strange would have been able to do. I know really early versions of Strange would have been able to do that, but since the popularity of Hulk has really eclipsed Doctor Strange several times over, I mean, he's getting lapped pretty much hourly. Um, they really have made, you know, like World War Hulk. Hulk just smashes the most powerful version of Doctor Strange ever, and no one really bats an eye about it. So that's a really is very cool, very fun, kind of a comic book snack. The second one is very silly, and it's MODOK, and he has all the different versions of MODOK come together. You have Future MODOK, I think Ultimate MODOK. You have an alien MODOK, some kind of Zerg-like MODOK. You have MODOK from the Victorian era, who just he doesn't know how. he, he says at one point, "Please tell me, do we ever find the way to get rid of the waste in our suit problem?" It's like, oh my gosh, the guy's been crapping in his chair. So gross. He's so stupid. MODOK's a super genius, and this version of him is so stupid. There's Baby MODOK and Spider MODOK, and very, very silly, and they all fight. And then they get arrested by the Thor Corps, and this it becomes more apparent that the Thor Corps is kind of analogous to the Green Lantern Corps. Just you have the Green Lantern Corps concept of being worthy for the ring, and you have Thor's concept of being worthy for the hammer, and that became, I think, a lot more apparent because they dropped the whole blonde guy type thing, and they had a redheaded woman and a bearded, brown-haired man. So it became more apparent that they were really, it was a lot like the Green Lantern Corps, to be honest. It also made me a little bit sad that we're not. It occurred to me we're not going to get any kind of King Thor, any of the kingdoms being King Thor, but that's not really about this book. This book's really fun. If you just want, uh, not some kind of super continuity laden, kind of mini adventure, something that gave you a smile. This would really be definitely up your alley. And also, just as one final note, it really raises the question of what are they going to do with MODOK? MODOK is a fan favorite, but he's so weird and he's so stupid. He's just like this. He's a giant head. So what are they going to do with him? Uh, the best thing that I can think of is they're just going to, or what I would do is I would sequester him as a Deadpool villain, like have Deadpool team up with. I mean, you can't put him in movies or TV shows. You can't put him in serious video games too much. Video games you have a lot of leeway, but just make him a Deadpool villain. Maybe a team up, maybe a sidekick like Bob, Agent of Hydra, goes on vacation and MODOK becomes a sidekick for a while. Or MODOK becomes Deadpool's boss. I don't know, something like that would be really funny. But they're really pointing out the absurdity of it. I don't think it's bad. It's just kind of leaves this question of who's going to be the iconic enemy of AIM or head of AIM. You can't just have some guy in a yellow suit and say, "Oh, this is what AIM is now." All right, guys, have a good one.